What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today I want to show you guys a tactic with the new artifact Soulbound spell. Actually was released today, is in the season quests if you want to have it too. It is at, let me check, 2,550 points, so the weekly limit that we just reached basically. If you have the weekly limit still at 2,500 points, that is because you don't have the monthly benefits, which require you to have one of the gazettes. So keep that in mind. If you don't unlock it this week, then you will get it next week. So what is this insane strategy I'm talking about? Well, it is a strategy to instantly cast an ult. So instantly cast an ultimate skill in the battle. Absolutely mad. And I wanted to show you guys this in this battle. Keep an eye out please on the energy bar of our Cryonia and how quickly it will rise. It's on ×2 spell now, so BAM's already full. So within like the first 2 seconds of the battle, we are actually able to fill up our entire energy bar, ending the entire fight in just 7 seconds. And as we are looking at it at double speed right now, that is just 3.5 seconds. So absolutely crazy. Ending this fight super quickly, and this is why we were already hit by entanglement spell and being CC'd there. So could have been even faster, could have been within like 3 seconds or something that we cast the ult. Absolute madness, works in PvE too. The question is, of course, is this something that is super effective? Well, it is something that is super interesting. Why? Because, well, if you think about it, the thing that made our Iron, for example, really stand out was his ability to instantly cast an ult, to instantly CC an enemy. So in this situation, take a look. This is just like a Siren. Always looked a little bit like Iron, I guess. And we can instantly get full energy on this guy and instantly start our ult, basically. And that takes like 3 seconds, but afterwards we already have an ult and can go into this. This team is not designed to beat this. It's just designed to basically show off this ability. But you can see we are able to very consistently ult over here. And might even be able to beat this actually. Or a little bit low on damage. Talene doesn't exactly cut it against those guys. Okay, let's exit this and then let me explain what is actually happening here. In case you want to copy this, in case you want to try this, and let me also tell you, it has 1 or 2 problems, this strategy. So, the new artifact, let's talk about this first, because this is obviously a key element of this strategy. This artifact is called Soulbound spell. It is an artifact with attack speed, fizz, magic def, and vitality, and I don't like those stats. I like the attack speed, yeah. Fizz magic def is decent, I guess, but like, I mean, compared to Ice Guard spell, a little bit low, and not really, I mean, it is okay. It is okay. It is not super great, but it's okay. Vitality I don't really prefer on artifact. I intend to use offensively. And then we have the effect. And the effect I was wondering a little bit about. I was looking at it. And usually with the artifacts, we did a lot of artifacts video recently. So we did Lightforge spell. We did like the Ice Guard spell. I'm like, okay, I look at it and I have an idea what to do. And this wasn't really the case right here. I looked at it and then was like, links the frontmost and the rearmost hero when a battle starts. Very uncomfortable already, because like it kind of determines the positioning of 2 heroes just to use it, and this is kind of clunky. It's not very nice. That's not a very nice condition. When the frontmost hero gains energy, the rearmost hero recovers 20% of that energy, okay? And when the rearmost hero deals damage, the frontmost hero recovers HP equal to 20% of the damage dealt. So I thought, okay, that is kind of cool. That is not bad. And the initial idea that I had was just like pretty nice on an Iron comp. Later on, by the way, when the linked rearmost hero assists or defeats an enemy, the linked frontmost hero recovers 30% of their max HP. In my opinion, this effect is rather useless. Energy ratio recovery, by the way, was upgraded to 36% later on as well. We can take kind of a look at in a more normal Iron team. Let's do it without talent trials. I think we have a team set up here. Do we? No, we don't. So I kind of just threw this together. Usually I use this team more in the way of like this. So with the frontmost hero being our trusty Hugin. But Hugin, well, he's kind of good as an energy recovery hero, but not really that great as a target for the heals. Would not be that nice. So I'd rather have those on our Iron. And this already kind of shows you the problem that I had with it, of this determining the position, because this is now a suboptimal position for the Arden, and it kind of gets clunky. I really have to say that. So When we start off now, we will see there is a little bit of a green line between the Bonnie as a rearmost hero and the Iron as our frontmost hero. It's kind of hard to see, but there it is. And now every time our Bonnie deals damage, Iron will actually get healed. And we see all those numbers popping up there. From what I have seen, they do not appear in the end card. So that is a little bit tough to see, but we see huge numbers there. We really see huge numbers there. Does the heal have a huge effect? This guy is shielded all the time, so not really. And as long as he's shielded, he can dodge. And when he's no longer shielded, he oftentimes gets wanted if you have high deficit. So it's not really like it plays a huge role. But what is certainly nice is, every time he gets some energy, we also recover energy on our Bonnie. And that is really cool, because we get energy all the time now. And that leads to us having a ton of ults with her, which is really cool, because that adds a lot of stun and overall creates a very nice flow here with very nice CC. So you can see there is no heal to be seen here. The heal somehow doesn't get attributed to a single hero. I would have preferred if it would get attributed to Bonnie so that we can see how effective it is. But from the numbers you saw on the screen, it certainly does seem very effective. What is the part now about the instant ult? Well, you already saw that, well, our Bonnie gets energy. And this is a tactic that I really wanted to use. So I tried different heroes, and I really wanted to see what hero can work best. There were two heroes that initially came to my mind, which I both didn't end up using, but maybe you wanted. Of course, Rowan as our energy recovery hero, that is always an option. And the other one was a more interesting one, was actually, we have right here, is Odie, because Odie, every time he gets a kill, gains 600 energy. And obviously, you can put him as a frontmost hero and use that to recover a massive amount of energy for your rearmost hero. Also was a little bit clunky, so what I ended up was using the best form of energy recovery for PvP that we know, and that is actually Celestial Hyperdrive skill tree. And this skill tree is kind of insane. I have him at level 30, and the effect is that at the start of the battle already our prime carriers in the Oracle's Blessing, which restores the energy by 380. This scales with stuff. So like if you have buff, if you're on PvP and you have a Paragon advantage and you have the rivalry stats and inspiration and everything, then you will actually gain more energy. So that will help you get to an ult quicker. On the downside, if you're on a Paragon disadvantage, this will also mean that you will not get an ult that quickly. And then there's the second part of the effect. When a battle starts, restores 125 energy to all allies who are placed within one tile of the prime carrier during battle preparation. So let's maybe take a look at the team again that we just fought Andre with, and maybe we can kind of take a look at the mechanics that were used in there. So the team itself, of course, uses the Celestial Hypogean tree, and we have both of those tiles here, which is a little bit unfortunate on this map, as I would have thought it was more natural if the Cryonaya position here and the Hark position there were actually the prime carrier tiles, but like this, I think it fixes a problem. If I remember correctly, it fixed... No. Oh, last time they did those always on the back tile. I think then on this map there was actually one tile that was unusable. It was something very weird. But we have a frontmost and the backmost hero. The backmost hero is our Cryonaya, where we want to instantly get the ult. The frontmost hero is a Nero in this case. Doesn't really matter if we choose a Nero or Ludovic. The thing is though, if the enemy uses a Lilymay, we kind of want to take away the Lilymay charge before our Cryonaya ults. And if we don't use a Nero or some other hero that instantly ult, like an Iron or a Brian, in front of the Cryonaya, or more as a frontmost hero, then in that case the Lilymay would almost be guaranteed to counter our Cryonaya ult, which we want to avoid. So in that case, that would be a little bit of a problem. Next up, and then we put the Nero to the front, and this creates the link between Nero and Cryonaya. So in the case when Nero gets energy, Cryonaya will get energy as a part of it. Cryonaya will also get energy from the Celestial tile, and also we will get a little bit more energy because we have the Paragon advantage in this situation. And if we take a look back again, we see instantly countered, gets a little bit of energy, and Cryonaya is already full. And Cryonaya will get the energy in 3 stages, and let's take a look at this maybe in a recording that I make. This makes it a little bit more clear as things happen very fast here. Okay, this is just like the same battle that we watched before. We can kind of take a quick look right here. First thing that happens is we see no energy right here, but the ult happens, so the enemy Lilymay counters the Nero. Next thing that happens is that we get the energy through Oracle Blessing. We can see it's actually 523, so through our Paragon advantage we actually generate a massive increase to the energy that we would have otherwise gained. Then our Nero will get the energy, 172. We can see all of the heroes get that. It's also a little bit higher. That is also from the Celestial Hypogen tree. Never noticed how big those numbers appear on the screen. That is madness. And we can see there's also energy coming back to our Cryonara already. We get 86 energy over there. And that is already nearly enough to fill the ult. And one more act that she did, one more attack, actually fills it up. And in this situation, we would already be able to ult. Sadly, she does her skill first and then gets entangled, so takes a little bit longer for her to actually ult, and this gives the enemy another 3 seconds to live, but ultimately ends up with us still winning and getting like the ult super fast. So this is basically the mechanic that we are using here, and I thought this would be very interesting. So now I also, for fairness of course, have to talk about the downsides and the way this strategy actually fails. Wherever there is a Paragon advantage situation, there's also a Paragon disadvantage situation, and if we want to find a situation like this, we always fight Atraxi. And Atraxi managed to assemble all of the problems that this team can have right here, aside from Lily May. Problem number 1, we are in a Paragon disadvantage, so our energy gain is a lot lower. You will see that at the beginning, basically, because the energy that our Cryonaya will gain through the Celestial Hypogen tree will be a lot lower. You can keep an eye on the energy bar there. Second of all, the entire strategy falls apart because our Soulbound spell doesn't work because of Mr. Siren. So when we get the energy gain from the Celestial Hypogen tree, this artifact will not be active, so it will not lead to this recovery. Third, we have Dunlinger on the enemy board, so we won't even be able to ult while he still will. And our Cryonaya will probably not be able to do anything. We can, of course, go ahead and kind of mimic this situation a little bit and go ahead and use a Dunlinger as well. In that case, nobody can ult. Nonetheless, we are still at a disadvantage as we are a little bit weaker on our team. Our Paragon is lower, so in this situation, we will probably not really survive. We can kind of try it like this, but the Soulbound tactic won't work, and you can see the energy over here. Bam, bam. We get to half, which is not too bad. We're still not able to ult, so it doesn't really help, and in the end we get absolutely destroyed. So Atrax's team here really perfectly counters what we do, and is in that form a lot stronger. So that is something to keep in mind, and those are like the core enemies of this mechanic. And I noticed if you are in an offensive situation, you can use this. Maybe Supreme Arena, that could be interesting, but you often kind of end up tailor-making your team to face the enemy team, because then you want to like include the Nero, you want to like choose the positioning. Oftentimes you can't really use a Fresto or Twins because you kind of don't have the room for that, and would end up having a frontmost hero that is not next to your prime carrier, and it is like very finicky, but still instant ult is pretty cool. So maybe use it. I think it's very, very nice. And if you want to use it, you now have the full strategy, the full mechanics and everything. And if you have any more questions, of course, you can ask down below. Lastly, I want to thank everybody that in the recent days has actually supported me on Lootbar, which is really, really cool. Already showed Lootbar in the last video. You can just go on there. There's a link down in the description. They have like an affiliate program and get a bit of a share. And you can get cheaper dragon crystals. Apparently, I got a few messages from people that said they still buy them in game. It's a little bit expensive, even if you go through Farlight Mall, and you get the option right here. And they actually sent it through Farlight Mall. So it's like absolutely legit. And thank you everybody that has supported me there. As always, if you want to know more about the mechanics or anything, just ask down in the comments. I usually answer all the comments as if it's possible. And other than that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.